Folks, welcome back to Indaba Africa. This is Chris with more breaking news here on the night of October 8th, 2020, a mere 26 days before a national election between Donald Trump and Joe Biden for presidency of the United States. Well, tonight, breaking news, a strange and quite bizarre plot unfolded in the state of Michigan, where a so-called group known as the Wolverine Watchmen, called a militia by numerous media outlets, has 13 of its members arrested in a bizarre plot. 6 are now appearing in federal court, or will appear in federal court, for planned actions against the governor of Michigan and governors and officials of other states. They plan to kidnap her and hold a treason trial for what they claim are violations of the Constitution. Now, let's be clear about this. This is an illegal, criminal act of insurrection against legitimate governance in the state of Michigan and against the United States. And it's unacceptable, and it should not be tolerated. But that's where the story begins to change. We can all agree on that. 6 are going to federal court. 7 will be taken to state court, where they'll be charged with supporting terrorism and gang-related offenses. Now, for her part, Michigan's Governor Gretchen Whitmer held a press conference. Rather than celebrate the close collaboration between the Department of Justice, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and state authorities, and their excellent efforts to prevent this plot from taking place, Whitmer chose to use the press conference to attack the President of the United States. That would be the same president who oversees the Justice Department and the Federal Bureau of Investigation in the executive branch of the government, and who was responsible for foiling the plot that could have cost her her life potentially. Because Michigan didn't know about this issue. It was the FBI who discovered this and infiltrated the group back in June, the so-called Wolverine Watchmen. But this is what she had to say. She said, the fact that after a plot to kidnap and kill me, this is what they come out with. They start attacking me, as opposed to what good, decent people would do, is to check in and say, are you okay? Which is what Joe Biden did. Well, why in the world would the president contact you when you attack him and you say vile things about him? Utterly ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. For his part, Donald Trump struck back with tweets before he went on an evening newscast with Sean Hannity on Fox News, and he said Governor Whitmer of Michigan has done a terrible job. She locked down her state for everyone except her husband's boating activities, urging her in another tweet to open up your state, open your schools, and open up your churches. Yes. Well, here's the thing, folks. Here's the thing. This is absolutely insane. This is what happens when governors and mayors tolerate insurrection in our cities and in our towns. When people come up with bizarre comments and get fraudulent medical practitioners, 13 of them, to sign a document saying that it's perfectly okay that we can lock up people for COVID-19. But it's so important for them to go out and protest and be in close proximity without facial mask, without social distancing, and that won't spread the virus magically. It's okay for people to declare self-declared autonomous zones and then force segregation inside of them. That's okay. It's okay for people to beat people in the streets, burn and loot, murder. That's okay. Well, moving on from that. DHS, for their part, the Department of Homeland Security, has called white supremacy the most persistent and lethal threat in the homeland. Now, that comes from a BBC story talking about this bizarre plot. What does that have to do with this plot? Where is the white supremacy? Governor Whitmer is a white woman. White supremacy? Perhaps it's there, but where's the link? Where's the literature? Where are the statements? Where's the manifesto? Where are the claims that these people claim that whites are better than some other group? There's no evidence of this whatsoever so far. Perhaps it will be revealed. But going to that, which is what Biden also went to straight away, is shameful and beyond belief. Anyway, for his part, Donald Trump said that I do not tolerate any extreme violence. Defending all Americans, even those who oppose and attack me, is what I will always do as your president. Yep. But she said that hate groups heard the president's words not as a rebuke, but as a rallying cry, a call to action. When our leaders speak, their words matter. They carry weight. Except That's not germane. This group despises Donald Trump. From reputable media sources earlier this evening, I heard the video from the YouTube channel of one of these clowns who was arrested. And in it, he clearly calls out Donald Trump and says he's part of the problem. He can't be trusted. So hate groups are not responding to Donald Trump, Governor Whitmer. You don't even have the facts. This is pure cynical political ploy because Michigan is at risk for the Democrats of falling once again to Donald Trump. Instead of being grateful for the federal government for thwarting an attack, thwarting a kidnap attempt through its investigation infiltration of this group, the Wolverine Watchmen, that led to the arrest of 13 of their members who planned armed insurrection, it appears, and sedition against the United States. Instead of congratulating a combined effort by federal authorities and state authorities, she chooses to attack President Trump and claim erroneously, fraudulently, that hate groups are listening to Trump, and that's what's going on here. And we see ludicrous reports in multiple things like CNN, in the BBC, in the Detroit News, making all kinds of outlandish claims, like the BBC claiming white supremacy and mentioning the Department of Homeland Security's saying that white supremacy is the greatest threat, most persistent and lethal threat in this homeland. How do they make this conclusion? Please share with us which of these so-called white supremacy groups that you're talking about have burned our cities, have looted, have cost us billions of dollars of damage, have assassinated Trump supporters, black and white. Tell us who these groups are. Show us the evidence of where this happened. Now, for the haters who will come out and say that this is an apologist, no, it's not. I condemn all of this nonsense. I condemn the actions of Black Lives Matter's domestic terrorists. I condemn the actions of Antifa. I condemn the actions of whoever these Wolverine Watchmen clowns are. What they've done is violate the Constitution, what I spent 36 and a half years supporting, defending against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And you folks are domestic enemies, as are the black supremacists in Black Lives Matters and the brown shirt thugs of Antifa. How is it that the Department of Homeland Security can call white supremacy the most persistent lethal threat in the homeland? Seriously. Seriously. Which towers have white supremacists knocked down? Which cities have they burned? There was a time when that was a true statement, but that's over a century ago. Over a century ago. You keep talking about these people. Where are they? Where are they? Meanwhile, the governor of New York shuts down houses of worship, targeting Christians and Jews, threatening them with fines and arrest while he undermines their basic rights under the Constitution. Why can't Governor Whitmer be gracious and thank the federal government for its efforts that led to preventing this attack from occurring, instead of using it as a crass political ploy to attack the president? And the same with Biden. Same with Biden. This from Trump campaign senior advisor Jason Miller. We're all united standing against anyone who would conspire to cause such hatred and violence. And there's no place for that in American society in any way, shape, or form. But why Governor Whitmer would go and start attacking President Trump, this is just, people can see right through it. They can see that Governor Whitmer is a complete phony and is just disgusting that she would take a moment of unity to attack the president. Well, I'd have to agree. It's also disgusting for the BBC to imply white supremacy without any evidence whatsoever. No evidence whatsoever. Hatred, bigotry, and violence have no place in Michigan, Whitmer said, calling the accused depraved. Well, I don't disagree with that, but what does that have to do with white supremacy? Clearly their hatred is for you, Governor Whitmer. They wanted to try you for violating the Constitution, not because you were white. This is why the media can't be trusted, folks. The situation should be denounced. The behavior of these people is criminal, and they should face charges. And while we're at it, the FBI and Department of Justice needs to get out and find all the people who are assassinating people in our cities and burning and looting and get that armed insurrection under control. Well done, FBI. Well done, President Trump. Sad, sad, sad commentary by Governor Whitmer and former Vice President Joe Biden. Well, folks, that's breaking news on this strange day, the 8th of October, 2020. Early in the evening, we heard Nancy Pelosi plans to introduce legislation to remove the president through the 25th Amendment because he's taking steroids. In her uninformed opinion, he's unstable. And now we hear about a plot in Michigan to kidnap and try the sitting governor, Gretchen Whitmer, for violating the Constitution. Folks, if you're unhappy with the governor or any political official, there is the ballot box. If the ballot box isn't rapid enough for you, then your state should consider a recall or an impeachment process, whichever applies under the laws and constitution of your state for those officials. Short of that, you will have to take them to court to overturn their decisions, which has been done in Michigan. Why kidnap the governor? She's already been proven to be unconstitutional by the Michigan Supreme Court, and she will have to reverse her behavior or face the consequences from the judicial system in Michigan. Folks, if you're not a subscriber to Chris Wyatt, think about becoming one for a moment and smash that subscription button right down there. Be sure to toggle the bell icon to get notified of any updates to my live streams and or my prepared videos like this one. If you got a comment, feel free to leave it. For the haters, let's get this straight. I have unequivocally condemned the seditious, treasonous behavior of this group known as Wolverine Watchmen. What they did is wrong. I didn't support and defend the Constitution for yahoos like this to run around and undermine it. But the news reporting is dishonest. Without facts, they make attribution, raising the specter of white supremacy from a group of white guys who took issue with a white governor, not because of her skin color, not because they think that their whiteness is more white than her whiteness is, but because they were angry about her actions. Doesn't justify their actions. They should be condemned and prosecuted for their behavior. Let's get that straight. But the behavior of Governor Whitmer is reprehensible. We know what this is about. Michigan is on a knife's edge for the Democrats. They're terrified of losing again. Hillary Clinton blew it in Michigan last time, and she still hasn't gotten over her failure in Michigan, which went to Trump. And that's what they're worried about this time. So Whitmer raises all this nonsense, completely unrelated to this, claiming that Trump is spurring on these groups when this group actually hates Trump, according to at least one of their members. So utter nonsense. Utter nonsense. White supremacy. A white person against a white person. Yeah, okay. That makes a lot of sense. Folks, feel free to leave a comment if you like, and I ask you smash the like button as it drives viewership. Thank you so much for your time and your patronage. We'll catch you here next time on Indaba Africa.